Here's my point. Invest your energy properly. The difference between winning and losing is where you invest your energy. If you invest your energy into negative sources, assessing blame, it's the referee's fault. It's my players' fault. They won't listen. They won't learn. No kidding. See, I coach 0.0 players. 0.0 players has several different definitions, but basically it's this. Starting from scratch at the level of their competition. I don't coach NFL players. I don't coach NCAA Division I players. In other words, I don't coach elite players. My job is to help develop them so that they can reach their dream. There's more 0.0 coaches like myself than NFL and elite coaches. We don't coach elite players. We are coaching people who are trying to develop themselves. That process involves a lot of heartache. And the heartache that we as coaches like to say is, there's losing. But that's not really heartache. It's a matter of perception. If you're looking at losing as being this personal attack, and I've done that. Let's say your team loses. It's very easy for me now, as my career progresses, to say, those players, they did this to me. No, they didn't. They didn't do it on purpose. That's where they are at their stage of development. But to make me feel better, when we lose, I like to assess blame to the players and saying, they did it. They did this. It's not their fault. They're doing the best they can. That's their stage of development. That's like, for example, I can get pissed off at my players for not benching 225 pounds over 20 reps like I would prefer them to lift. That would be ridiculous for me to say, you're not lifting enough weight right now, when I know very well that there's a very serious progression that's necessary. You gotta lift this much, then that much, then that much. And there's a progression to lifting the kind of weight that I want them to lift so that they can win a lot of games. It would be foolish for me to say, okay, you lifted a little bit over here, and then a short time later, I'm expecting them to lift a lot over here. I want you to lift some heavy weight after you just learned how to handle some lightweight properly. It's ridiculous. You can't expect people to close this gap, and this gap is called a natural struggle. It would be crazy for me to say, hey man, you gotta be lifting some serious weight instantly after you just learned how to lift some light weight. It's exactly the same as winning and losing. The difference is where you invest your energy. If you start looking at losing as a lesson, you have to start studying losing to find the lessons. Invest your energy into studying losing. What was the cause? If it's part of the development, why beat yourself up? Why call your players names? Why blame the referees? That's where they are in their stage of lifting. That's where they are in their stage of development. Get better. If losing is a sign of getting better, there's all kinds of signs which I'm going to be talking about in this series called the difference between winning and losing. Study winning. Winning could be overrated, as I said earlier. Study it. See really what was the cause. Was it because the other team handed you the win? A lot of people would say, it doesn't matter if they gave you the win. It doesn't matter how many mistakes they made, as long as you get the W. I know we all want to win. I know we all want that instant gratification to say, we won. We won. It's not as simple as that. You gotta study winning to really truly get the full value of it. It's not enough to feel good. Feeling good is part of the process. Feeling bad about losing, that's part of the process. But it's not, by any stretch of the matter, the entire issue. It isn't. What's the first difference between winning and losing? The investment of energy. Where you invest your energy. You invest your energy in the wrong places, guaranteed you're going to lose. That's 100% guaranteed. I promise you, you're not going to win if you invest your energy wrongly. If you invest your energy wisely, I guarantee you, you're going to win. You're going to win at anything. You're going to be on the road to victory, triumph, whatever you want to call it. However you want to define winning. Winning is not just about the scoreboard. It's not just about who's got the higher number, who's got the lower number. in business, in school, we like to quantify winning by numbers. That's one definition. It's inescapable. Winning is about numbers. It's not the only definition of winning. Trust me, it isn't. Winning is far more complex than who scores more points than the other person. Well, that's easy for me to say because I guarantee you the next game that we lose, I'm going to be hollering, you see that? See, we didn't score enough points. And I'll be reverting right back to the standard definition of who scores more points than the other guy. That is a good definition. It's a good indicator. Here's my point. It's good evidence. It's good, solid evidence about who's winning and who's losing. Numbers. Higher number, lower number. But it's not the only evidence. In conclusion to this episode, part one, what's the first difference between winning and losing? The investment of energy. The source of energy. Where is it directed? What direction is it going in? Do some inventory. Check out the source of your energy. And I guarantee you, you will have passed your first test in studying winning and losing. To be continued.